like that song a lot. Welcome back welcome back everybody to another episode of Laguna Studios Live, where we are launching another Kickstarter. Let's start some music. I can't handle it without the background music. There we go. So, we got Lori with us and Russell Nolte, the original creator of Cthulhu is Hard to Spell. And I don't know, I think everybody's having technical issues, so it's fine. Whatever, you know. It is also like 10,000 degrees in here, which is also fun.
This is very creepy music happening in the background.
Yeah, this is new.
Yeah, is this Lovecraftian enough? I can barely hear it myself.
I feel like it is. Like, it feels like I'm in a Victorian mansion about to investigate a haunting.
That works.
Yeah, that's a good vibe. That's the vibe we're going for.
Yeah, why not? So, so we got started a little late, but we're gonna launch here in like 20 minutes or so, and I do have a couple of, I don't know, do we want to talk about the first 48? Like, do we want to talk about what this is for the people who might not know first, and then we'll talk about some cool stuff that you're gonna get before we launch the campaign?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so who wants to talk about this? I feel like, Russell, that's your question.
Sure. So sorry, my internet is terrible. I'm in a hotel in Boise, and they don't have great internet at this hotel, apparently. They did let me in at 11 o'clock, though, which was amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
So Cthulhu is Hard to Spell is this kind of weird anthology series that I started in 2018. And the idea was basically like, what if instead of horror with a little bit of monsters, because Lovecraft has this kind of, he has a way to do things. Like, it's like a weird person ends up in a weird town, investigates weird thing, and then like they open a portal, and then like there's monsters at the very, very, very end for like 5% of the, 5% of the thing. So I was like, what if instead of making it very little about monsters and mostly about horror, we made it lots about monsters and a little bit about horror. So there are horror stories in there, but the idea is like it's the gods and monsters, and some of them are slice of life stories, some of them are funny stories, some of them are sad stories, some of them are silly stories. There's also some horror stories, but it's kind of like, I don't know. So now it's been 6 years. I think it's been like a pretty divisive, like people either love that it's like not all horror because they never see anything about the monsters, or they hate that it's not horror because all they want is Lovecraft horror. And so if you fall in the, I just want the exact same story that Lovecraft wrote 700,000 times, and a bunch of people have written the exact story afterwards, like, I don't know, like, are you going to love this one? Probably not. I'm going to be honest with you. But like, if you have like read or are confused by Lovecraft, or have read Lovecraft and are like, this is really cool, but like, I want more monsters, then like this anthology is really for you, especially if you're like a hardcore Lovecraft fan. My favorite are the people who are like hardcore Lovecraft fans who really love the mythology. But like, Lovecraft kind of shafts you on the mythology, like in his own universe. It's like the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadeth is like pretty mythology heavy, but like he doesn't annotate anything. He's like the opposite of J.R.R. Tolkien. He has like volumes and volumes and volumes. He like will talk. So like, for instance, my favorite is Aziolith, and he like talks about Aziolith in like 3 paragraphs in like one of his stories. I don't even remember which one. Never again. So like, you have to like be searching out this stuff and like compile it all together. And like the Cthulhu is Hard to Spell series, where I think it does really well is like mythology builds. and like built out the mythology in a way that is understandable, that is like interesting to someone who knows the mythology, but like also can help build out to someone who doesn't know the mythology. That wasn't necessarily our goal, but what is I find really gratifying is kids who like picked up the first volume when they were like 6, and now they'd be like 12, and they come back and they still read the book, but they get something else out of it. So people come back to it at different times and get different things out of it. And it's very hard to find something that works for a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old. But like I really appreciate like that there's this wide ranging thing. So like one of the examples that I always bring up is there's this, like I call them the Ross and Rachel of the Lovecraft universe, the Orna and Numqua. They kind of are like, well, they're like Ross and Rachel of the Lovecraft universe. They like fiery build up and like, but they're like this like eternal couple in the way that like Lovecraft, anything in the Lovecraft universe could be an eternal couple. And like Madeline Holly Rosen did a story, and Melissa Massey did a story where like they were in marriage counseling. And so it's like if you don't know who they are, then it's like, oh, I now know like these two characters and like how they fit into the universe. If you already know who they are, then like you get the joke. So it like builds upon the joke depending on where you are in your journey. But there are people who love the Lovecraft universe and they just want that same like Innsmouth, like creepy, like investigative thing, and like this is not going to feed that fix very well for you. It's going to feed the fix for someone who's like, I want something different, or like I want to go deeper, or like I want to learn more about the mythology, or like I want to have just like a good time, or like I want to see Lovecraft go beyond the bounds of what most people do Lovecraft. Like we push the entire bounds of like Lovecraft's thing. Like and I think that's really fun. The other thing is most Lovecraft is written by people that look like me, like white, het, cis. That's like the vast majority. Even people like Neil Gaiman, Alan Moore, like famous like Lovecraft historians, like they're all kind of like me. They'll look like me. And so what I found really gratifying was like one of the mandates of the Lovecraft of the Cthulhu's Hard to Spell is like we wanted to bring in as many different voices as possible. We wanted to show that like Lovecraft is for everyone, and like Lovecraft can be seen. I mean, one of my favorite stories in the whole thing is my friend Kelsey Jo Silva, who did this story in the second one of the volumes about like Medusa and Yig summoning Cerberus. And it's just this very cute, charming story of like this girl and this dog and like falling in love with it. And like it's not housebroken, and like they go to give it back, and like just like it's a very cute, charming slice of life story. And like I don't know, I've never seen anything like it in the Lovecraft universe. And like we have story after story after story that's like that, and then we kind of break it up with like these like very traditional Lovecraft stories from these people who write beautiful like Lovecraft. I think Johnny C and Kara are one of the best examples of that, because like they started with a very, very traditional Lovecraft story, and by the third volume it like gets very, very wacky and zany. So yeah, it's I don't know, that's a long way to describe like the series, but it's, I mean, at this point, you know, it's 6 years of my life. Like it feels like a very significant chunk, and I've heard a lot about like this series, and the people that tend to love it are the people who are either so steeped in the Lovecraft stuff that like they just want anything new, or like people who like want more monstery mythology than they do horror-y stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. We were talking about this before the stream started, that your camera is a little bit behind your voice, and I was waiting for you to stop talking.
Yeah, we gotta
waiting
wait
for
it
your
to
face
catch
to
up.
stop talking after your voice
Yeah.
stopped talking. We're gonna roll with it though, because it's mostly fine here. But yeah, that sounds awesome, and I know you worked really hard on this, so I hope that we're doing it justice by revamping it and adding a couple new stories and getting all these covers, which we'll show y'all in a minute here.
I love it because, like, to me, it's all about remixing. It's like I feel like the whole concept was like, come in and remix Lovecraft's work. Like, I love seeing this stuff in like Owl House, for instance, and like you're like, wow, that is a place I never thought I would see Lovecraft in like a Disney show.
Right.
Or like, how can you make it feel? And one of the big challenges, which I think is like wonderful about like what you guys are doing and like what we did, was like, it's like, how can you make something that is reverent and irreverent at the same time? Like, what I love about the series is like, it's clearly from people who love and or appreciate Lovecraft, or at least where they found Lovecraft. Because one of the things about Lovecraft is like, a lot of people that come to his work or enjoy his work don't actually know who Lovecraft is for years after they encounter Lovecraft's work. So like, I remember like Jacob's Ladder, In the Mouth of Madness, like movies I had no idea, like Stephen King, The Abyss, like all of these great people who like built upon Lovecraft, and Lovecraft was formational for them. And so like, so many people, when you say I like Cthulhu but I don't like Lovecraft, or I don't even know what Lovecraft is, like they are so, and they're so influenced by this thing, and they have, however, maybe they watched it for the first time in Owl House, and like they have this idea of like what these monsters are, and it's beautiful to watch like them be able to remix it in a way that resonates with them, and like hopefully resonates with another generation, and meanwhile like allows for people to come, because like Lovecraft has a very high barrier to entry, and we talked about it. Like, this can be like a low barrier entry way for people to get into Lovecraft, and a way to like build upon the love that you have for Lovecraft.
I feel like we're gonna have to license OC Steve. We're gonna, cause that's a sticker right there.
Yeah, I like
Oh
that.
shit. I love making fun of white people stuff. So, and that live, laugh, love thing is a very white people thing, isn't it?
So this is like, well, it's a multi-layer thing now.
Yeah.
So I like that.
It works. I like it.
For sure.
I had a thought and then I went. I'm very distracted. There's a cat screaming over here, and it's like so hot in here. Do you see I can see how like I can't unpink my face right now because it's just too hot. It's so hot right now. Anyway, oh, see, yeah, see. Now it's trademarked. We can't do anything about it. Now we gotta pay. So, okay, we're gonna launch here in just a few minutes, and I have to get the right screen up. There we go. If you haven't, we've got 249 people that are following this. If you haven't, you're not going to get the email. So you should click the button if you want it to send you the email. And first backer award, just like always. And this thumbnail here is part of one of the covers, and that one was by Mooney Art. So I'm really excited to show the rest of the cover here once we launch. It's really cool. They're all really cool. And we kind of went a little out of the box for cover stuff this year too, I think. We got some stuff that's not like you don't traditionally see on a cover. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute.
Yeah, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised.
yeah, it's just they're all really cool. I love them. I can't wait to show you. And we've got some really fun new merch. We've got a couple of artists that I don't think that have ever worked for us at all before, and you'll see them. And we got the all new pin set here made by an artist that has definitely never worked for us before, and it's like a really cute kind of folk arty stuff, I guess. And we're gonna, I think you're gonna like them. I think you guys are gonna like them. I like pins though. I feel like I need to start collecting them, but I already have so much. Like I have like 15 different collections of various things, and that I might be getting myself into trouble if I start collecting pins too. But I collect our pins, so
It's addicting to collect pins.
it is. They're just fun. And I should have. I didn't think about it, because usually when I do my streams, I've been doing giveaways. Like if you get if we do a quiz and you get the most answers right, you get a prize. Or if you just happen to show up and watch the whole show, you get a prize. We've been doing giveaways, and I don't have anything to give away today. Certainly not anything Cthulhu themed. Unless, we could give away a pair of socks from last year, couldn't we? We got some socks left, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can do that. We'll just have a drawing at the end. So everybody who wants that has to make a comment it's like OC Steve right now has commented like 4 times. You don't get 4 entries, but I'm gonna start a wheel, a random wheel. And we can give away some stuff. But do we want to wait till we launch before we show off the backer reward? The first, we've got a prize. We got an extra little goodie for everybody who backs in the first 48 hours, and we've got. Well, I'm not gonna tell anybody about stretch goals right now, because we got to actually get to goal before we can talk about stretch goals.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if you're watching and you want to be in the drawing to win a pair of socks, which I don't have a picture of, I'll have to get.
They're really cool. I gave them to my friends' kids. You sent me 2 pairs, and I was like, I'm not going to wear these socks because I only wear merino wool socks. But like, I gave them to the 2 biggest Cthulhu is Hard to Spell fans that I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them. They're comfy.
They're great. They're very soft.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I wasn't such a sock hater, I'd probably love them too. But I am a big I hate winter because you have to wear socks in the winter, and I hate it.
I was really excited because I didn't unpack the boxes that you sent me last year until like before WonderCon. So like I saw Lucifer licorices that I never thought I was going to see. I saw like pins and stickers and all sorts of merch that I never got to see, that I never thought I was going to see. Like there's so much cool stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I saw, and this is super weird. I don't know. I saw a Lucifer licorice pin out in the wild.
Yeah.
I'm positive it was our pin, because it was the headstone with Lucifer's head, and I hate everything, whatever it said. I can't remember what exactly it says on it. But yeah, I saw it out in the wild in this little podunk part of the world here, and I just was like, oh, I know that. It was very fun.
It's cool. Mm-hmm. I love it when that happens.
Yeah, and it's so rare to have it happen when you're in indie stuff, so it's very gratifying.
Yeah, for sure. So just like out at like a fish market or something? Was it just like out and you saw it?
I was out at the local university, actually.
Oh.
I was walking on campus to a meeting that was in one of the buildings, not school related, but it was being held there, and I saw it on somebody's backpack, and I was like, no, that can't be what I think it is, but it was.
That's awesome.
It was really
cool. That's really cool.
Anybody who's watching right now, like I said, You have to comment if you want us to put your name in the drawing for the free stuff. And also, if you have any questions, for Russell, if you have any questions for us, if you have any questions about Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, drop them in the comments too.
Just general Lovecraft questions. I guess I don't think you can be doing this for as long as I have without being somewhat of a Lovecraft scholar. I haven't done a new issue in a couple of years, so like I might be a little bit rusty. And like I'm not going to be able to remember like every god. If you tell me like what's Quetzalcoatl's, I'm going to be like, I don't know. Like you've stumped me, but like I know more about Lovecraft than I ever thought that I would.
I actually, last year, I had basically no active knowledge of Lovecraft. Like, I knew stuff, but I didn't know that it was Lovecraft stuff until we got into this, and then I did a deep dive, and I learned more about Lovecraft himself than I thought that I didn't even need to learn about it. I just was interested, and I fell down a rabbit hole like you do.
I'm just gonna say, if you want to learn more about Lovecraft, just don't. Just like don't learn about his life. Just enjoy the books. Just like
but I mean, his mythos, like the whole fear of the unknown thing, like that part holds up. His racism and classism and just general hatred of everything does not hold up.
Oh, I have a lot of things to say about that, but should we launch it before we get into like? I have tons of things to say about that, but
I mean, I suppose we can launch. We can do that. It is time, I guess. So why don't we do that?
I mean, I will talk about his background all day. Like,
I think that he's I have a tiny bit of sympathy amongst lots of harsh critical opinions of the guy, but yeah, like he's interesting. I mean, you know, not somebody I'd want to hang out with, but like an interesting person. Bad interesting, but interesting. And yeah, the whole be afraid of things you don't understand thing, that, and be afraid of things you can't understand. That idea that he really cemented into pop culture is definitely something that does hold up over time. So that's cool.
I just don't think that he would have that. His like views on everything else like stem from the fact that he fears everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't think he would have. I don't think you could have the world that he built without the ancillariness of all of the terrible ideas that he harbored. Which, in fairness, like, look, he died young. He died at 45. Like, he died penniless and alone. Like, and he recanted for a lot of his worst things at the end of his life. So like, but yeah, I mean, I think that if you have the view that everyone is out to get you and like the world is unsafe, like that's kind of leads to making a world that like is like Lovecraft's world, where the gods don't care about you and like everything is unsafe, and like knowledge brings like madness. And one of the big things that the Cthulhu's Hard to Spell thing was like Lovecraft's main conceit is that if you look into the face of the gods, you will go crazy. And the conceit that I came in 2018 is that like, no, you won't anymore, because like we're already like, there's nothing that would be like that would like shock anyone. So like you could have like Cthulhu walking down he could be your barber, and like you would have no like like it wouldn't bother you at all, because like we already have way past the Rubicon of like the Overton window of like things like anything shocking us.
Right, we're just desensitized at this point.
Yeah.
With everything going on. Yeah.
So, okay. Project is live. Go back, everybody. Go.lagunastudios.net. It is go, right?
Yes.
Before I tell everybody, right? Okay. Yeah, and it's I I'm trying to scroll on the live stream screen instead of the actual screen, and that's where my brain is right now.
You know, one of the little bits of trivia about this is I didn't know that you guys bent the Cthulhu is hard to spell logo. I didn't recognize it because the Cthulhu is hard to spell logo was straight across the original one. And one of the ways you can tell whether it's a Laguna Studios logo or it's a Wannabe Press logo is there's a curve in the Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm. It's I wouldn't say it's subtle. It's dissimilar enough that you can definitely tell. I wish I had something handy here. I didn't have anything handy with the original logo, but yeah, that's definitely a way you can tell. And they both look great on their respective covers, so. And you didn't realize that at first? Like when we did the last?
I realized it when you told me, do you have the other logo?
Ah.
And I was like, oh yeah, look, it does like curve at the end like around. I wonder if did you guys, I feel like the Cthulhu is a little bit wider too, and then it burns around. Like, I feel like there's like a couple, the one that I recognize right away is I'm like, oh yeah, ours is for sure straight across. The Cthulhu is still slanted, but like there's no curve in it.
Mm-hmm. There's a
sure
long story about the logo on this. We don't need to get into that right now, but it's we're not messing with it anymore. It's staying like this now. We're not gonna keep screwing with it and confusing everybody. And Katie's here, so now I don't know. Katie, do you want to be in the drawing here?
Hey, Katie.
We're doing a drawing of. We're giving away some Cthulhu stuff from last year, I guess. I don't know what all you have that you can give away. I don't have any Cthulhu stuff with me now, so whatever Lori wants to give away. Socks, anyway, for sure. And I'll stick your name in the drawing. Anyway, okay, so let's scroll and look at this crap. So, first, let's talk about this here. This is a piece by Doodlezook. Is their name, and it's Instagram.com/Doodlezook, I believe. So go look at their stuff. It's really fun, and Lovecraft monsters right up their alley. Like that's great art. And this is going to be as a magnet that we are going to give away to everybody who backs at a physical tier within the first 48 hours. So back now. Do it now. And you get the magnet. And it's going to be a nice big magnet, too. You know, we're not going to give you one of the little bullshit 1-inch ones.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Cthulhu cover now. It does. It is hard to spell is smaller, and the Cthulhu wraps around more than in ours. That's cool. Good job. It's so subtle, I didn't even recognize it until like it was brought to my attention.
Yeah.
It works out because, the way that it I guess, works with the art on the covers is really great.
Yeah, so for anyone who's not familiar, or is familiar, but maybe not be familiar with the Laguna Studios one, I'd be like, I have some things from before, and I see there used to be 3 volumes, and now there's 6 volumes. So I don't remember what the break point is exactly. Lori or Sarah, you guys would know more than me, but basically each volume is each hardcover volume is 2 softcover volumes, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the whole thing. So like if you've been like, what do I like, just get the all 6 and you will have all of them, and all of them up until now. And you're going to want all 6. So like you can get 7 and 8 and 9, like you want to have it all in paperback, because like they're not gonna. I'm not doing the next ones. Like whenever the next one launches, it's going to be like brand new, 100% brand new stuff.
Yeah, I'm very excited about curating new stories and doing all that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So this story is from my friend Jessica Maison. and Anna. I'm not try and say her last name, but like she has this school. It's called Mary Shelley School for Monsters.
Yep.
Yep,
That's
and this is the first appearance, and she's now done 2 origins and a graphic novel, and it's totally lovely. And like I remember when she sent me this art, I was like, what are you like, what is even this?
Yeah, I don't. Jessica sent me a copy of the first Mary Shelley, and love it. Highly recommend you go buy that book too, but buy this one first. Well, buy all of them if you don't have them.
It's one of the cool things about anthologies is you have these like storied creators that I've worked with, like Trina Robbins, and like Paul Jenkins and David Pepos, who like I don't have a better word for slumming it, but like they're coming from like Marvel, DC, and like these like massive projects to like work on Cthulhu is Hard to Spell. And I'm just like some guy who like edits books and like, and then you have these like amazing creators who start their career in your anthology and they grow on, like Angela Odling, or Jessica, or any number of creators who like did their first book and then went on to have a bigger, broader career than like what Cthulhu is Hard to Spell. Then like the Cthulhu is Hard to Spell brand, they like became brands in and of themselves. And a lot of them, I remember I watched, DJ Kirk, my friend DJ, edited this book called Pop Gun, which won an Eisner, and Skull Kickers started in like Pop Gun. I remember looking at Skull Kickers and being like, Skull Kickers though? Like this is the first appearance of Skull Kickers, which is like a huge brand. And Jim Zub is like ended up being like a huge creator, but like you end up having these like amazing, like it's this amazing mix of like creators who all came together for this like at one moment in time and created this magic, and then like dispersed and went on to have amazing careers, or like continue their amazing careers, or like take a nugget of an idea and like work with a creator to like make a bigger and bigger and bigger thing. And I really appreciate that about this, and that it could be like, it could like represent that moment. Like think of Pep, who was like a pretty well-known indie creator at the time. That he did Our Story and then went on to like just absolutely blow up, just stuff for Marvel and so it caught between like this moment where he was on this huge like meteoric rise. And, at the same, then you have like Trina Robbins and like one of her later pieces before she unfortunately passed away earlier this year. Like she's got a story in it as well. And so like, I don't know, it's kind of like anthologies are kind of this like magical, like, I don't know, time capsule in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
And the way everyone collaborates and works together and creates this thing. Anthologies are one of my favorite things to do, but it's a very frustrating and work-intensive experience, as you know.
What are you talking about? No, it is. It can be cat herding, really, but it is. I think it's stressful, but also the reward is worth the stress.
Yeah.
I think I said something about brain damage earlier today, but like. It is. It's really like it's. There's I guess if the balance between stress and the feeling of accomplishment wasn't so balanced, nobody would ever make anthologies. So it's like they're just really cool.
Right, and this is the main story that used to be in the third anthology. Eric Lergold and I So this is a fight between Lovecraftian a wrestling match between Lovecraftian gods and mythological gods. So the idea for the first anthology was the gods are preparing to invade. Second one was they have invaded and taken over, and the third is like the Lovecraftian gods have infiltrated, and like humanity and the mythological gods are like trying to push back on them.
Cool. There we go. Yeah, I like the colors on this one. You know, when we have to go through and pick. I don't know. You have to go through and pick and choose which pages you're going to show. And so for me, it's always like, I like this one because the colors are pretty, and I never actually, I don't never look at the words and stuff on there. I just try and make sure I don't get anything too spoilery.
Well, it's funny when we started doing the Cthulhu books, wrestling comics were on the rise. They had not overtaken everything, and become this like huge force of nature. You know, my friend Michael Kingston and a bunch of others like really like brought wrestling comics. So like between book 1, book 2, and book 3, Eric is a huge wrestling fan, and so like I knew this was the last time I would probably ever work with him, unless like some project came up, because like we only kind of worked together on these anthology projects. And so I was like, okay, Eric, I know you really want to do a wrestling comic. Like, let's do it. And so I was like, we originally were going to do 8 pages, and then I ended up getting 12 pages, and he was like, this is a lot, but like, let's do it. And he would come in and like, he gave the little embellishments for like how the announcers should talk, and like he told me what moves we should use, and like, so it was really a cool collaboration, because usually I hand him the script and then he just hands me back pages, but this was really like, feel like he put a lot of himself into this one.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I wish that there was a way to better capture the stories behind, because like some people, myself included, really like hearing the stories of how a comic happened to.
Right.
Like you'd almost have to do a separate book to make that happen, but like it'd be cool.
There are audio commentaries on all 3 of these volumes.
There we go. Can you see them better now? If you guys want to go see the covers better, just go to the page. You can look at it on your own screen. It's gonna look nicer than me secondhand sharing it like this. But if you can see my cursor here, this one is also the thumbnail image. And that one is by Mooney Art, who did an excellent job. I mean, and I think this is the only non-Cthulhu cover. Like, it's Cthulhu on the cover of every single one except for this one, which has Dagon on it.
Right.
Close enough, right? Like, and then so this cover here, I don't know if there we go, my mouse is back. That cover there is by Fish Lee, number 5, and that one's a little non-standard. And he when we asked him if he wanted to do it, and he was like, yes. And then he's like, I had this idea, and it's a little weird, but like, what do you think? And we were like, screw it, try it, let's see what happens. And it ended up looking really good. And actually, he sent us a copy of it with and without the word bubbles. And I was like, okay, I love the word bubbles because it's funny. So, he's saying, Cthulhu, are you messing with the minds of mortals? And Cthulhu's like, no, well, just a little. And it's adorable. And then if you look at, so like, it's funny and it's cute on here and playful, but then you remove the words and it's still really damn cool. And I was like, I don't know what we should do now. And we ended up going with the words because it's just really cute. But
I like it. It reminds me of like Bronze Age covers, which like had a lot of words on them, and like Golden Age, and kind of moved away from it in the modern age of comics. But like this 30s to the 70s, they all had this kind of like writing on it all the time.
Yeah, and it's almost getting a little bonus comic there too,
Yeah.
because it's an anthology. So like the cover's actually its own little entry. So that's fun. The third cover, right here, is by Alvin Chang, and I also like. I don't know which one of these covers I like the best. I think I gotta just say I like them all the same because I don't know how to pick a favorite here. You have to go in and look, but I don't know if I can get any closer here. Not with that. I can't. Let's try this again. I don't know how much closer I can get. Can you see it? There's the Cthulhu is underwater there, and he's holding up little mermaid puppets to lure in the boat. And
It's subtle, but yeah, I love it.
It's so freaking cute.
That's great.
And I think it's amazing because that is otherwise a very serious cover.
Right.
But this looks really crappy on my screen, blowing it up that 5,000%. So you guys, anybody who's watching, go to the campaign and look at it yourself because this is a bad image. It's not. I'm not doing it justice. So let's see.
Sorry, I'm here. I am fixing an error on Kickstarter that deleted a bunch of our images, guys. So
Kickstarter's fun.
So this is a really fun story by Brandy June and Carolyn Carter. It's well, I won't spoil it, but it's very funny. It's one of my favorite ones from this what it was the final volume. So one of the last two editions.
Excellent. I did notice the like the hang in there kitty poster in the background. Only it's hang in there kitty, otherwise Cthulhu's gonna get you.
Yeah, I love all of the
maybe
like
it's
Brandy.
the Kraken. We don't know.
Brandy and Carolyn really like went above and beyond with like all the little things that they put in.
Mm-hmm. He kind of which story is the one? Oh, it is. It's called Cthulhu, isn't it? Where the professor at his desk and the guy reading the professor's work at his desk. That's and it kind of made me think of that as like, oh, this guy's going through all the professor's stuff, and I read the whole comic because I can. That's why.
Sure.
I read through many comics while I was selecting pages to put in here, and Lori also went through a bajillion comics. This is the part where there's supposed to be images here. This is the part that broke, so we're just gonna skip that for now. Anyway, we can look at rewards too.
I love that shirt.
I feel like it's very relevant right now.
Sure.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's I had a sort of a semi-formed idea, and what I did was I texted D Fish, and I was like, "Hey, can you do a thing for me?" And she got it. Yeah, it's like, here's a bigger image here. Yeah, and it's in this day and age in America, it seems like maybe we should choose the greater of two evils, right?
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe Cthulhu would be a good president. He couldn't make things that much worse, right?
At this point,
Yeah. And you know, I thought I was fucking brilliant by coming up with this idea too. And then I go and I Googled it, and I shouldn't have done that because it turns out like literally everybody has had this idea too. They just didn't do it in quite the same way. So like, you can't copyright an idea. Screw it. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can pick the color of shirt you want. You can buy one of each color. I don't care what you do. It's your money. You do what you want. And yeah, I really enjoyed working on this with D. D did the art stuff and I did the graphic stuff, so it was a collaborative effort. I feel like
awesome.
D did the heavier lifting here, but and then we had to get all. Oh, I love the little sexy legs poking out at the bottom there. We had to get new pins, and I was a little unsure because the pins from before were so different to what we ended up getting this time around. But then I was like, different is good, so let's do it. And I think this is a friend of yours, right, Lori? Am I remembering the right people?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to talk about the process with this, because Lori handled most of that. I just was like, she said we should get stuff by them, and I was like, well, actually, we do need some stuff now.
Well, this is actually a friend of mine. His name is Ash. He's amazing. I actually met him through my partners here, and his first thing is actually like erotic gay art. And so he's constantly struggling with Instagram and Facebook and getting banned. But as you can see, he's good at everything. And I was like, how about some Cthulhu pins? And he was like, I have an idea. And like got back to me within, I don't know, like an hour or two. And he had the first one. And then we were like, we need more. Like, these are just friggin' adorable. So I love him, and I love his artwork, and I'm really excited that we get pins of it because they're freaking cute.
Was returning so many different options that I was at this point where I was like, okay, tell him to stop. Okay, I can't do it. Like, there's too much.
Too many
now.
options. Yeah.
But yeah, we settled on these. I named them because I didn't. Ash did not send any specific names. I don't think. I just got the art, so I named them the King Cthulhu, and then the four-horned monster, and the lion monster, because I was like, that's how creative I am.
Sure.
But I like the Cthulhu here. I like his because I made the clickable, and they're okay. The images are clickable. If you want to see the art, like see the social media page of the person who made the art, you can click the image. You can click the, what else can you click? Click the image, click their name in the what is that called? Caption underneath the image, if you want to go check out more of their art. Anyway, this one, the King Cthulhu here, I thought he looks like he's wearing one of those hats that they put on elephants at the circus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, there's no way. See, like, elephants didn't ever get to choose to wear those silly hats that they had to wear, but Cthulhu is obviously making a choice because nobody's gonna force Cthulhu to do anything. So he just saw that hat and he's like, I like it, I'm doing it. And then he wore it.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I like all the things that it's holding. It's holding like little chippy things. Like chippy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that this little guy in the background is supposed to be this little guy, and then that little guy is supposed to be this little guy, but I'm not sure.
I believe so, yeah.
It doesn't matter. But
I think also Cthulhu's headpiece, Ash is Indian, so I think there's kind of an Indian inspiration to the art too.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't even. I would like to be able to talk more to the artists about like what made you choose these specific elements, but like the artists don't have time for that. We don't have time for that, unfortunately. I could sit for hours and like nitpick people about why did you do this particular thing just because I'm curious.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
It is very interesting. Take a moment here to say, if you want to, we're having a drawing for some free crap at the end of this. If you want to be in the drawing for the free stuff, you gotta comment. So I've got OC Steve, I've got Katie, I've got Chris in here, and if you want to be in it, you gotta comment.
Yeah, and like it's real. Like I had after our last giveaway, I had 2 or 3 emails and were like, "Oh wow, like I actually got stuff. Thank you." And the stuff is actually good. And I read the comics. I was like,
I didn't know that people thought we were joking about that.
Like I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but yes, it is real.
Huh.
We are really giving things away, and our comic books are actually very good.
Well, we think so anyway. So, okay, so you saw the sexy legs poking out underneath here, so let's just go right there. We just went ahead and, because, like, Dagon, right? Like, we've only got the one major piece of art that isn't Cthulhu-centric, and so we're like, yeah, we're gonna put Dagon on some socks. So,
love it.
And then we got some sexy stock art legs to put them on. You can't have the sock art legs, though. Like, you only get the socks. If you order them, that's all you get. Sorry.
I mean, unless you back for like a really high amount, then we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we can.
We'll
yeah,
make
we
some
can make it.
sacrifices.
Just
Some
chop
rituals.
Just chop off Eric's legs at the knee.
I mean, with access to the Necronomicon, like we don't know. We don't know
true.
what we're capable of. So.
That's true. It's very fair. I didn't think about that. So, all right, that's all the merch, right? Like that's our merch and rewards. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of lean into, like Russell was saying, the monsters. We're always going to lean into the monsters, so that's also why we did the pins that way. Because, like, we love Cthulhu, but we want to show some other monsters and could even come up with or make up our own monsters that can work within the universe. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple people that did that throughout the course of the series, which I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be cool, like going forward to get new monsters. That'd be really cool.
Right, and I feel like I was saying about Ash, he's from India. I don't think Lovecraft is a big thing over there. So, like, seeing what people from different cultures come up with monster-wise after they read Cthulhu or after they don't, or like it's super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, adding new monsters to Lovecraft's universe is kind of like the quintessential Lovecraft mythologian thing. Like everyone, Lovecraft had a lot of them when they were, but like more than half of them were after he died, and like it was carried on by other Lovecraftian creators. So adding that kind of like extra element, I think, is very in the spirit of like Lovecraft. And Lovecraft during his life would literally write letters to his friends begging them to use his characters in their universe. So like all of this stuff is like very in keeping with like the spirit of what he was like, without like the thirstiness. Lovecraft was a very thirsty creator. Like he's very like belligerent, as you can imagine, and like was like would write people every day of like for like weeks on end to like pester them to use his characters. But like without that part, it's like it's like a nice add-on piece. Like I was really happy with the creators that chose to add another god, because it's just like it's like such an underappreciated part of the mythos.
Yeah,
absolutely. I just stopped the banner for a minute to put the comment to be entered into the drawing, because I feel like I have to stop every 5 minutes and say, hey, if you want to be in the drawing, you gotta put your name, or you gotta comment. You gotta comment. So, for the reward tiers, we have an extremely customizable reward tier here. You can basically get literally everything. You can get almost everything from the last campaign too. Like certainly the books. You can get the books from the last campaign. We've got all of them available. You can get your digitals, you can get your physicals. We've got the sets of, if you backed last time and you want to get new ones for this year, you can back just for the sets of 4 through 6. Like you can get just one of the pins, you can get all the pins, you can get the socks in the book, you can get the shirt in a book, you can get the socks, you can get the whole merch set. Like it's extremely customizable. We got a set that has everything. Yeah. And then we've got like our retailer sets like we had last time, which is just 5 of all the new books or 10 of all the new books.
Well, and even if you have the 3 volumes, but you haven't gotten the soft covers yet, like there are new stories in the soft cover editions. And so right. I don't know what that means for 4 to 6, but I know for sure there is ones from 1 to 3. I know we talked about doing new ones from 4 to 6. I don't know whether there are.
4 through 6 will have a few new ones too. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think that, it's just like, it's nice to have hardcovers and soft cover editions, especially like we mentioned, like I'm assuming like we are contracted for more. This was like the bonus. Like they were supposed to just do 7, 8, and 9. But then we were talking, we're like, we really should just do the paperbacks of 1 to 6 because like they're gonna have 3 hardcovers and then just a bunch of paperbacks, and that would be weird. So like this whole thing was like, I feel like we've been like, I don't want to say we're like playing a bonus time, and like now we can like start to really like the new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited too about like with like do the new volumes too, and then I want to do maybe like some slip cases or box sets down the line. Like I don't know what to do. There's so many books here, guys. Like
What do we do?
what do you want?
And where do you? Yeah, like how many do we get to 10 and box them up? What do we do? there's a lot of options. We got stuff, and if you guys have like anybody who's watching, if you guys have comments, if you have thoughts, put them in the comments. We might steal your idea if that's what you want.
It's really because I still get emails often that's like, when are you doing more ones? Are you open to submissions? Like, what's going on with Cthulhu? And so, like, hopefully there'll be like all of those options in the near future where, like, if you really got a cool Cthulhu story, like, you could have there will be things to do. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to see where it goes. I mean, like I have no ideas left for like Cthulhu. I did all my ideas, so I'm really excited to see what y'all do in the future. And I really loved what how the books came out. I was saying that I finally like got to unbox them when convention season started, and I love all three. I think they're like super well done. I love the news stories. I love like the sequencing choices y'all made. So like, and even just like having it in a different sequence also completely changes like the meaning. Like I had a very specific idea when it came to sequencing the book, and like you guys added new stories, and like just having a different thing before and after really changes like the meaning of stories or like how they're supposed to make you feel. Just like a great mixtape, if you switch 2 songs, it could like destroy or make a mixtape.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I'm anxious about that for the new volumes. Like I want it to be perfect. I know we're gonna sit there and like mess with it. And...
Yeah. Anal retentive. Very, very, yes. It'd be very Lovecraftian.
But yeah, I guess we should mention the news stories for volumes 4 to 6, Sarah. What did we do again?
So Lloyd Ladera's gonna do a story.
Yay!
It's gonna be it's 100% him at this point. He did suggest that maybe he would need my help, and I was like, I don't know why. You've got a story and you're an artist. You don't need me. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I am not good at coming up with stories of my own, but I'm good at bouncing ideas if you already have an idea. So if he needs that, I'll be there for him. But I think it's gonna be all him.
Lloyd did a couple of really cool stories with Sarah Anderson in the anthology series. So he's got a very cool like just take on art and Lovecraft that I really appreciate. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with.
I absolutely love his art. I love his use of color. He actually, I just want to get a cover from him with he's got kind of a looser art style than a lot of the artists that we work with, and he's not afraid to get crazy with the colors. Like we have one that looks very ravish for an upcoming cover. Like right now it's super bright, neon-y colors, and I just love his art style. I love the way he does colors.
Yeah, I want to do a chrome version for that reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did this story called Sleep No More in volume 2 with Sarah that was very, very pink and like magenta, and it was like
yes,
beautiful. But then the story that he did for the other story was like a whole different art style, a whole different vibe. So
yeah, he says he's bad at ideas too. Like he and I were talking, and he's like, I'm bad at ideas too, and I was like, but you're not though. You just think you are. You're just being your own worst critic right now, because he's actually very creative, and he does have a lot of really cool ideas. And I, like, I'm sitting there going, yeah, we should do that. We should do all of this. And then I was like, I don't know where we're going to get the time or money to do this, but we should do it. So, yeah, so he's excellent. I love Lloyd. And he did, we don't have, I keep forgetting to put the damn thing on the intro video here, but he did, if you guys saw that amazing animated Laguna logo that we have now, Lloyd did that. And if you want an animated logo for your business, message Lloyd. He'll get you set up.
Yeah, it's amazing. We need to get it up so we can show it off.
Yeah, we gotta put it everywhere. It deserves to be in more places than just at the beginning of our teaser videos. It's just so cool. And I definitely, it's not a matter of me not wanting to put it on this intro video. It's just a matter of this one's kind of just a boring, like I slapped it together really quick when we needed it. And now I'm like, I want to redo the whole thing, which maybe is a thing I should talk to Lloyd about helping with. Because that's the kind of stuff Lloyd can do. Anyway, let's move on. Fish Lee is going to do a story for us. If you remember, he did a story. I don't remember which volume it's in. Do you remember, Lori, which volume it's in? Of the new volumes?
I thought it was the third one, but now I'm questioning myself.
Assistant
There's too many volumes
of the universe.
Yeah, it's like the Office meets horror. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if
really
the Office took place in a Lovecraft story, yeah, it's great. And like Fish, I don't know what it's something about the name Fish. I'm telling you, and we're gonna elaborate on that in a moment here, because Fish has his own stories and he does his own art. I think the only thing that he doesn't do himself is, like, he does have a flatter that he sends his pages to flat, and that's only because he just doesn't have time, and that saves him a lot of work. But everything else he does himself, and it's wild that he can do it fast too. It's crazy. Yeah, so he in this, the cover that he did for us for Cthulhu, the volume 5 cover, I want to say a day, like between me asking him and him actually sending me back a finished piece, literally less than 24 hours. It was freaking mad. I don't know, I think he's a machine. Very Lovecraftian, really.
AI, maybe.
Yeah. And that brings me to what do I mean about the name Fish, because D-Fish is also doing art on a story, which, is that a story that you wrote, Russell? The story that Russell wrote? Yeah. So D's gonna do, I forget the name of it. Can you remind me of the name of the story?
Yeah, Binky.
Yeah, and she read the script and was like immediately, yes, I love this. I definitely want to work on this. She just no hesitation at all. And she said it was hilarious and adorable, and so like, and that's not words that you tend to hear associated with Lovecraft stuff. So
she was my first choice. Was when Lori asked, so what the biggest critique that I got from the hardcovers was the covers didn't enter into any of the stories. So what we did when we conceptualized these paperbacks is like, what if we did stories for the actual covers? They're no longer the covers, but like now there's interior stories to like go along with them. So in the first 3 volumes, my longtime collaborator, Nick Torres, he did a story based on The Substitute, which was the cover for the volume 1. And then volume 2, the cover is like a baby Cthulhu rampaging through downtown. And so I did that one. We did that one. And then the cover for the 3rd one is Battle Royale, which we ended up doing that story inside of the 3rd volume. So I'm super excited. I could have anyone do that story Besides, like, there's very few people as high and no one higher than D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see.
It's funny that you say D was your first choice, because when I asked her, this thing went through like 6 channels before it got to D. It was fun. It was a very interesting process of getting everything set up, because you asked Lori asked me, I think I looped back around to you. I don't remember how it all happened, but anyway, I'm the one who asked D, and D's like, well, does Russell know that my style is more cartoony and not so serious monster-y? And so I had, at the time, no idea that D was actually your first choice. So that's perfect. I mean, perfect.
I believe the only choice that I gave.
Yeah, yeah. Russell suggested her to me, and I think it kind of happened simultaneously. Like, I was talking to Sarah in chat, and I was talking to you in email, and her and I talked about D at the same time as you kind of sent me the email that was like D, and I was like, oh, how convenient. Let's just move forward with this.
That makes sense why it ended up going through so many, like, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon stuff there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it ended up going through, like, so many people. And, why, you might ask, did I say that people who name fish have magic in them? Because D is also incredibly fast. If you have watched any of, so there's a recent episode of Critical Affection, my live stream, that Fish and D are drawing on, and they completed, I think we ended up running almost 2 hours on that show, but they completed their pieces in like an hour. And we're talking about colors too, so, and that is how they work. And that is like, because again, with like the piece that D did for the shirt, we're a couple hours. Like, she had it back to me. I was like, I had this idea, and I was wondering if you could help me. And a couple hours later, boom. And yeah, it was. That's how fast they are. And like, the quality is there too. Like, I can give you a piece in a couple of hours, but you're probably not gonna be happy with it.
You're right.
Yeah, Katie says people called Fish are inhumanly fast comic artists.
Yeah.
Lovecraftian comic artists.
I was really nervous because I know that she usually does her own work, like in my experience, and I was like, she's gonna be willing to do like someone else's story. I've never like seen her do with someone else's stuff. I've only read her own works, so like, I'm super excited.
Really? You should go check out Giant Girl. It's giantgirladventures.com, right?
I think so. I think
yeah,
that's
she wasn't always the artist for Giant Girl, but you'll definitely notice when she takes over if you start at the beginning. I started reading it from the beginning, and so yeah, definitely highly recommend. Great story by Sabrina. Sabrina, what the hell is Sabrina's last name? My brain is only half functioning at the best of times right now.
I just know her as Sabrina Pandora. I don't know if that's actually her last name.
Pandora, yeah. I don't know what her like what she bills herself as on the story, but yeah, doesn't matter. GiantGirlAdventures.com, go check it out. For Russell and for everybody else.
Well, because I love Slice of Life book that you guys put out like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago, 100 years ago, at some point, like in the past, like
recently. For me, recently could be any time between my birth and today. So
pretty sure it was sometime since the pandemic that you guys put it out.
Finding D, that one.
Yeah,
that one is, and yeah, we just ran the Kickstarter for the new volume. So, and actually, we can take a minute to quickly say what's going on with that. If you guys are done talking about Cthulhu, because we're probably gonna. We're not gonna keep. I can't stay here very much longer. I have to go someplace cold. I have to go climb into the refrigerator or something. It is so fucking hot in here. It's so hot. There's a storm. I can tell that there's more bad weather coming. Like, if we could just get some not stormy days, that'd be awesome. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna melt. But anyway, yeah. If you have any other thoughts that you want to talk about with Cthulhu, Russell, love to hear them now.
I mean, I think I've talked I spent 6 years talking about Cthulhu. I don't know how much more Cthulhu I got. I'm excited. I learned so much because I have not seen this page before. I did not know that you had Dee doing the story. Like I feel like I've been schooled on like what's happening now. I'm so excited.
I love it when we make the original creator excited. That's all we forget.
We saved it up to surprise you by accident. Yeah. It's fine.
I didn't intentionally not keep you in the loop because I was just like, oh, I added him as a collaborator. My job is done.
I'm perfectly happy to not have any information. Like I trust y'all implicitly to do the thing, and because you guys always do it so well, and like I spent like at least 2 years trying to find someone to like take this over before we finally like connected. So like I'm very, there's not two humans in the world that I would want to carry this along with that weren't the two of you. So I mean, I've loved everything you've done, and I like can't wait to see these ones too and whatever's next.
Thank you. I'm horrible at taking compliments.
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna say thank
That's so
you.
Nice. Yeah.
I would say that I would be blushing, but like my face is already, I can see it in the camera. My face is
too
bright
hot.
Freaking red. It is so hot in here right now. There's just no air. Anyway, yes, thank you very much, and I'm so glad that you trust us because this is a really fun series, and I've been enjoying working on it.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Shit.
What's happening with Dee?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna use the opportunity. We're gonna give you guys some sneaky peeks of the new stories. So if you have to back so that you can get the backer updates, and then you can get those sneak peeks of the new pages. And I have no idea when we're gonna send out. Like, we don't really have a policy on when we send out updates because we don't want to bother you all, but we also don't want you to think that we've forgotten you. So it's a delicate dance is what it is. Holy, 13 backers already. Is that accurate? Did we say who's the first backer?
No, let me check.
Yeah, we should do that. And then we should spin the wheel for the drawing. And then we should quickly update everybody on what's coming up in like the month of June and July, because we got like bam, we've got a bunch of stuff happening, and then hopefully we can take a little break in July.
That sounds good. First backer was Adam Goldstein. That's our first time for us.
Yeah, that is first backer award to Adam Goldstein. So thank you. And I think it was for a really healthy chunk too. If I only got a quick glance at when it said one backer, but it looked like it was a bunch. So
looks like the full 4 to 6 volumes, 4 to 6 set.
So very generous, very generous. And I hope that you like them as much as we do because we love them.
I mean, I recognize Adam. Adam's been is a long time backer of the series, I believe. I mean, it's a lot of backers at this point that I go through, but like I recognize that name.
Yeah, it's always really heartwarming to see the same names showing up, because that means we're doing a good job. If you enjoy what we're doing enough that you keep backing, that's always fun.
Sure.
In case anybody ever wonders, what the hell? Matthew is going to Hawaii? What?
Yeah, they're going to HawaiiCon.
Dare you go to Hawaii without me? Actually, you know what? I don't have a clue. Is Hawaii like disgustingly hot in June? I have no idea. Is it? It's probably beautiful all the time because it's Hawaii, right?
It can't be worse than it's 102 here right now, so
gross.
It's actually really nice in Boise right now.
Well, at least there's one good reason to go to Boise.
Yo, okay, so today I went to a place called the Idaho Fry Company where they have 6 different kinds of fry potatoes, 6 different kinds of ways to cut those potatoes. And then they also have like 20 different salts, including one that has crickets in it. And they have like 10 different ketchups, including one that was blueberry ketchup, which was great. So like 2 reasons to go to Boise.
So, okay, so like you're gonna die of heart disease, but it kind of sounds like it's worth it.
Yeah,
Right.
I forgot. I don't eat a lot of carbs, so I was not prepared for the level of carbs. But like then I was like, I wasn't prepared for so many potatoes. And Karen's like, duh,
It's
Idaho
though.
potatoes. It's like the thing.
That's
It'd
the
be like
thing,
going
you
to
have to.
Wisconsin and like not going and getting cheese. So I went and I
Hey,
was
there's
like,
other reasons to go to Wisconsin to just cheat. We also have the world's biggest beer cans in La Crosse. Come on.
sure. Well, I don't drink. So,
Same.
but
You
like,
don't have to
usually,
drink.
yeah.
I would not recommend drinking it. Actually, I would recommend just looking at it. It is kind of fun to see. I go to La Crosse a few times a year, and every time we're like, but did we drive past the beer cans?
so here's the thing: is I got the fries, and I'm like, actually like undersalted, and they were like, you salt it yourself, and like they have literally a like salt bar and a ketchup bar.
Ooh.
Okay, so if this is the same Adam has backed 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16 books of mine. 16 campaigns.
16.
Including 2 of the other Cthulhu's. And probably the
Nice.
other Cthulhu, like the other Cthulhu book that isn't under the wannabe press thing.
That's
So
amazing.
Mhm.
So Adam's like a super backer.
yeah, Adam's great.
That's awesome.
So Chris Daly said Boise's a couple of hours from him. So yeah, go to
Maybe
the
worth
potato
it.
place.
Mhm.
This potato palace, whatever this is.
Chris,
Sounds
come
like-
hang out
sounds
before
pretty cool.
Sunday. I will, and I'll go. We'll go get some fries.
Nice. Okay. We gotta do stuff here. We've gotta do a spinny spin. There it is. I got it. We've only got... Nope, Matt's in here too. Oh, Matt said one of these days he's got to do a cover for one of these books. Yes! Talk to us. You send me a message later.
I've only not asked you because every time I talk to you, you're like, I'm so busy all the time.
That is
So
very
I
fair.
assume that means you have no time to do a cover, but yes, you have.
Okay, did I get everybody? I got OC Steve, I got Katie, I got Chris Daly, I got Matt Frank. They seem to be the only people who message. Do we have enough that we can just send them all something, or should we spin the wheel for funsies?
Everybody gets socks.
I don't care. I don't care. You do it however you want.
That,
I
I'm
feel like you got to have something extra for one of them, though. They should all
Okay.
get. Socks,
I'm gonna
but,
spin
like,
it anyway because I can't build the wheel and then not spin it. That's bad. I can't like
I agree.
I will literally, my head will explode. I have to spin the wheel now. Are you ready? Let's do it. And spin.
Oh.
And it's Matt.
The extra super prize that Matt gets is you can do a cover for the next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matt wins the ability to do a cover for Volume 7.
Hey, you want to see something else
Sweet.
fun? Katie wants to do a cover too, and of course, I think
Okay,
Katie,
Volume 8.
Katie would be kind of an amazing. Yeah, Katie's gonna have like an outstandingly detailed, like Cthulhu will have scales and slime and stuff, and
Right, and Matt's the Monster King, so like
Yeah, we're gonna have some seriously good covers lined up for the next couple volumes, I think.
All right.
That was fun. So Matt gets like extra, and everybody can have socks. I don't care.
Sure.
I don't care. Whatever Lori, because Lori's got the stuff physically with her. So whatever Lori decides, that's what you guys are getting.
You guys, all of those people have me on Facebook Messenger, so just message me your address again.
Yes.
I know I have. I'm pretty sure I have all of your addresses. Message them to me again. I'll send you stuff.
This fucking guy.
Kaiju
Matt.
Daddy.
Kaiju Daddy.
Okay.
Matt says, I don't know what I won. You won whatever Lori's gonna stick in that bag for you. Or
That's
box,
cool.
whatever. That's what you get.
Stuff.
That's what you won. Okay, so before we wrap this stuff up, if you haven't backed, if you're here just now and you haven't backed, go to go.lagunastudios.net and check out the campaign. The con.
Backing
So hot
volumes
here, you
1 to
guys.
6 backing volumes 1 to 6 will not only fund the printing for them, but they'll, if we get any extra money, it's just going to go to making volume 7. It's going to pay for cover. It's going to pay for art and writing.
And the incentive to back now versus waiting till the end is that you're going to get that cool magnet. There's a Doodle Zook is the name of the artist. Go check out his work, and you'll get that magnet if you back at a physical tier within the first 48 hours. So you've still got time to get that, and you should back in the first 48 hours anyway, so you can help get us to goal quicker.
They won't charge your card until 21 days from now.
Yes.
No pre-auths, no charges, so just do it.
Yes. And if you must back now, and if you must cancel later, we totally understand, but then you can do it at the end when you know that you need to cancel. And that way you still get the magnet. Right? The only downside is if you're only backing for a digital copy, we can't send you a magnet, sorry. But okay. Now let's take a couple of seconds here. I don't know how far into the future we want to go, because we have like 5 things that are coming up here in the next month. We have a bunch of stuff coming up, you guys, and we'll just take a quick second to talk about it. So immediately next, we're gonna be doing a quick backer kit campaign of Finding D Volume 2. So we're gonna have all the same stuff that was available on the Kickstarter that we ran, except we're gonna have some new merch, some stuff to be a fun incentive, and because it's Pride, we thought it was only right to give Dee a little bit of a Pride Month boost, and so we're gonna do a short campaign for her over there too, and it gives you a chance. Yeah, new pin, Pride pins, new pins. She did new stuff. We're bringing back a couple of the classic pins, the ones that everybody loved, and there's something else. Shit. Why is my brain not working? I remembered it as I was saying something else, and then it's just as I got to the point where I could talk about that I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so new stuff for D, and if you missed out on the Kickstarter that we ran for that, last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever that was, then you got your second chance to get Volume 2. And it's all colored by Katie Roostin again. It looks amazing. There's a bunch of fun extra stuff in the back of the book. Not just the comic strips, but there's other stuff. It's going to be great. Wait till you see the pins. The new pins are amazing. She just showed us one today. It's hilarious. I love it. You guys are going to flip. What's after that? Is it Richard's project?
Yeah, maybe let's just talk about those two, because those two are the
Pride Month stuff.
Yeah, the Pride Month. Yeah.
Richard Fairgray. Is that we got a little merch campaign that we're working with Richard on, and it is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. He describes it as Dirtbag Pride. It's a Pride celebration, but it's a little different. It's a little
with a little attitude, a little spice.
Yeah, right. A little grittier, a little raunchier. If you guys are familiar with Richard Fairgray at all, that's kind of just him. So you should
Richard
know what
also
to expect.
did a little cross promo for Finding D too. The last campaign. I don't know if you'll be able to get it on this new campaign. I don't know if we've discussed that yet, but you can still look at it because it's funny. So yeah, it'll be a thing, and you'll be learning more about that, because we're not just going to tell you here. We're going to send you emails too. So we just don't want to bombard you with 1,000 emails at once. And
well, speaking of emails, I just got the email that Cthulhu's Hard to Spell is a project we love. So
yay! I actually wasn't paying attention if we had that out of the gate, but did we? Doesn't matter. We got it now. That's what matters. It deserves to be a project we love, doesn't it?
Yes.
So okay, so that's we can talk about so keep an eye out for the Finding D backer kit little mini campaign that we're doing, and keep an eye out for Dirtbag Pride, because that's going to also be on backer kit. Did we decide?
I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit confused here. I understand why Lori is always so busy now because now that I've taken on a larger role in all this stuff, I'm like, how do you keep this shit straight? I have like 10,000 worksheets in Google Drive now. That's what I have.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm.
It's wild. Oh. One more last minute. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Thank you for coming, although we are kind of wrapping it up now. Sorry. But we appreciate that you showed up.
Yes, back at Cthulhu's Hard to Spell.
Yeah, do the thing. So yeah, we've got more stuff coming up. We've got stuff. We got some new stuff, and we've got some continuing adventures of stuff. Like we've got stuff that's like second, third volumes of stuff that was happening that we already did before. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But for now, I guess we'll just Finding D next week, and then Richard Dirtbag Pride in 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
1 week from now. I don't know. It'll be in the emails. Just look at the emails.
Check out our social media and our email.
Yes, that too.
Join the email list, and you'll know when all the launches are and get all your cool Pride pins for this month.
Yay.
John said, "Story of my life. Rock on, cool people." It's okay. It's okay. We appreciate that you showed up. That's what I'm saying. So, any parting thoughts from anybody, or should we just get the hell out of here and let everybody go? And I'm gonna just climb into the freezer because I'm so hot.
I'm going to say that John should get socks too, even though he came in late. I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm going to advocate for you, John.
John, you're getting socks. Email, send
Message
Lori
me.
a message on Facebook, and we'll get you hooked up.
Awesome.
So, all right. With that being said, with that being done, thank you everybody for coming. Back Cthulhu is Hard to Spell. Watch your emails for more stuff happening. Thank you if you already did so. Like and comment and share on our social media posts. Did I get everything? And do all that stuff?
Yeah.
Before we go, Matt Frank says, thanks for being such an amazing support for indie comics and creators. The broader publishing world is tough, so avenues like y'all means a lot. Thank you. And thank you to you too. Like the support from everybody. From OC Steve, from John, from Matt, from Katie, from everybody. Doesn't matter what you do, who you are, how you're a part of our community. We appreciate the hell out of you. And we hope that you'll stick around for like ever. So, all right, let's get the hell out of here before everybody gets too sappy. All right, bye. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye.